Ah,
Yeah.
I can't believe.
They all
I
seem
can't believe it happened. I know.
Obviously, I want to talk about Stranger Things, of course.
Yes, yes.
I know you can't say much, so about volume 2 at least. So I won't like press you on anything like that. But what would you say your experience was like joining the cast of such a popular, like, I mean, it's so insanely popular.
Gosh, it's still very surreal for me because I was a big fan of the show prior to even auditioning for it. So then actually booking it and getting to be on the set and working with Sadie, who's a gem of a human being,
Yeah.
it still feels unreal. I remember when I got the news that I booked it, I was driving to a friend's house and it was raining and I legit forgot how to drive. I was just like stunned and excited and like also the feelings of me? Like,
Yeah.
are you sure? Regina Ting, I don't know. I'm kind of janky. Like,
Oh my gosh, no, you're amazing in it. I love it. And
thank you.
yeah, so have you been digging into any of the fan theories?
You know, even if I didn't dig into it, everyone in my life is like sending them to me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm just finding out, you know, I have to say I'm finding out in real time with the rest of the fans. Like it's a mystery and that's really all I can say at this point because but how fun. So many crazy theories I never thought would stem from it.
There's that, and just the fans as a whole are they're so smart where they
Oh yeah.
And even if it's not something the Duffers use, half the time I'm like, that would have been really cool if they had done that. So
Right.
I know and I'm assuming you're talking about the theory that Miss Vecna is working.
Yes.
Or Miss Kelly is working for Vecna. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was like one of my first one, like when I got the screeners and I saw your character and I saw the scene, you know, with the clock pendant and all this stuff. And I was like, something's up. There has to be. So I am so excited to find out if we get to the answer. I don't know if we'll get to the bottom of it in volume 2, but I'm excited. It's it's been one of my top theories since.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sure. I know. And when I see all the theories come out and I see the images of myself, sometimes I don't register it as myself. I'm like, this is the character. Mm-hmm. And I'm also in it with you guys. I'm like, I don't trust this woman.
Yeah.
She's sus. Like she's suspect. Like I can't, this is not adding up.
It's so funny. Now, I know your hair in the episodes it's super curly. And was that a wig or did you have to get a perm or anything? I just saw where they were talking about Jamie Campbell Bower's perm that he had.
I know. Nope. It was all my hair.
Oh,
and
wow.
I know. And they just did some magic. I don't know how they got it like that and kept it like that. But like, it's so straight. Like, I know I'm wearing a black top, but like, it's just straight, like, you know, and for them to poof it up that much, it was really epic.
Yeah. So how fun was the world premiere? You looked amazing at it. I was watching like the whole thing. I was clocking everything and I'm in a chat with some friends and they were like, Regina's here. Look how beautiful she is. So you have plenty of fans out there.
Oh my God. That's my first red carpet premiere and it happened so fast. Like I wish I could have been in the moment longer, you know, it's just so quick, but it was, you know, everyone's so excited and I get influenced very easily by like the positive feeling around me. And I'm just like, I'm charged up. It was so much fun. It was so much fun to see everybody and see them like normal looking, you know, in person. That's because when we're on set, we just see the 80s everything.
Yeah. So how was that? Cool. How was it being like transported to the 80s with the whole thing?
Girl, they're so good and they're detail oriented, like down to like the pencil or the pads. Like everything is accurate to where it almost made my work too easy because I just kind of fell into it. Like you just feel immersed as soon as you step on set. It just was effortless. And the crew, they're a tight-knit crew. They're really nice. They work well together. And you just felt this camaraderie and this ease that you could just trust and do your work with everyone,
Yeah.
and it was all going to work out. It was just what a blessing to be able to do all that.
Oh, I know.
Especially on a show that I love. Like, oh,
right? And Amy Paris, she's the costume designer, correct?
Yep.
So did you work closely with her, like with your outfits? Did you get like a sense of what you were going to look like as Miss Kelly?
Oh gosh, we went through so many options. I had no idea what Miss Kelly was going to end up looking like. I swear I had on like 15 to 18 options. Like
really?
it was a lot. And I kind of wish I had all of them.
Yeah. Did you get to keep anything from the set?
No. Maybe in the future, we'll see.
Yes.
But no, it was I'm like, where do you find these?
Right.
I don't know.
A lot of it, I think a lot of it, don't they like go to like actual thrift stores and stuff?
Yes. And it's amazing that that's where you can dig up all of these gems.
Oh, I know. And they are she is amazing at it anyways, because just from season 1, and I don't know exactly how old you are. So I'm like Holly's age in the show.
Okay.
So like I was born in 80. So I was like 6 years old when all this was happening. So I remember all of it. But I also I love how season 1, 83 is just very dull and brown and green. And that's how it was. That's really what people were wearing back then. And I love how accurate it is with their costumes and how well they do make it really transport you back to that timeline.
Absolutely. They don't, there's no mistake anywhere. Everything is just so carefully crafted to be as accurate as possible. And I think that's part of why the show, for many other reasons, but the show is such a hit because it's authentic, right? It's honest, it's relatable. Even for people who weren't born in the 80s, it's like there's this magic. I don't know what it is. I've been asked before. They're like, somebody asked me like, what do you think it is about the 80s? Like, even if you weren't born in that, like, why is it so magical? I'm like, I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either. I always chalk it up to my, nostalgia, but I grew up during that time period. And I do have really fond memories of when I was little, and but my daughter, she's 16 and she loves it. And she always says I'm so jealous that I didn't get to grow up in the 80s. Like, she just loves all the music. She loves the cost or, the designs and all that.
Right.
Stuff. She, a lot of it, she was so thrilled after season 3, when they started bringing out, they brought out some of Eleven's, actual replicas of what she wore, at Target.
Oh,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really does. And the Duffers nail it with that feeling. And especially in season 1, it is amazing.
It's magic. I've said that word so many times now. It's because I don't know how it works. It just happens. And even just my own experience, I feel like I transport it through time, which my sci-fi obsession brain, I do that all the time anyway. So actually doing it on a set and everything is changed. It was so cool.
So what was it like when you got, you found out you could audition for a part in the series? Did it just come up that the part of Regina was available and you were like, I'm going to try this? Or did something your rep send it to you? How did all that work?
Oh yeah. So in Atlanta, and I'm sure every market is like this, you have your agent, they submit you for a role that was on a breakdown that the casting director put out. And then the casting director makes their selections and then requests an audition, and I got one. So that's kind of the generic process of how I got it. But it was pretty I knew it was for Stranger Things, but it wasn't I didn't know who I would be talking to. They changed the names.
Yeah, they changed the names.
Much detail. So I just had to default to being myself, because that's the only thing that I could bring to the table that's authentic in my performance.
Yeah.
Because if I could pretend to be something else, but I don't even know what the parameters are. So it's not like that works.
Right.
So yeah, it was crazy to even get the audition, one, because I know they are very selective with who they see. And to book it, like I said, it's every time I say it, it doesn't feel real. And now that it's out, it still doesn't feel real. I just feel like, oh,
yeah,
I'm so lucky.
I know.
Yeah.
It's such, I don't know. I would feel just so just excited to be involved with the show. I mean, even me on the outside, I love, like, I could talk about it for days because it is
I love that.
like, I mean, like that whole section is like dedicated to Stranger Things over there. And
I see that. I love
yeah,
that. So cute.
yeah. So, all right. So now you said that you know about the Miss Kelly Vecna fan theory. Do you have a favorite fan theory that does not involve like one with the kids or anything?
Mm. Gosh, there's so many out there. Honestly, I love the ones that have to do with Eddie. Just because he's such a fun new character and
Oh.
everyone loves him. Like it just, I don't know what it is. He has this natural magnetism.
Yes, he does. He really does. And the first thing I noticed with Eddie when he was on screen is if you close your eyes, he sounds dead on Robert Downey Jr., just like him.
Oh my God, I never thought of that. I need to test that out.
Yes, he sounds just like him.
I could actually see that.
Yeah.
And maybe some of the mannerisms,
A little bit.
them,
I don't know.
wow.
He kind of almost resembles him a little bit.
Yeah.
Something about him. Yes, he is very charismatic and just,
Yeah.
and the girls are swooning over Joe
Oh my
Quinn
God.
days.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen the Chrissy Wake Up song that someone has turned into an actual like song?
No.
It lives in my head. Like it's never.
Oh, wait. No, I think I've seen it because they're taking like snippets of it
Yes.
and puts it together. Well, yes, I have seen it. I
Yes.
saw it like a couple weeks ago. It's so creative.
Yes, I love it.
I love like some of the fans, they're like recreating some of the scenes.
Mhm.
And I love all the ones where people are like floating and they're snapping. And I'm like, oh my God, like people are creating their own scenes from the show. Like they're so immersed in it.
Yes, for sure.
Oh my
They
gosh,
just can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
So I knew from, what did you feel about learning that you have a legitimate, like, your character has a space on the Stranger Things for Monopoly? Like you're part of a, you know, a like iconic board game. Like
I look, I'm speechless. Like it all goes back to me. Are you sure? Like imposter syndrome of like, you know, you work so hard for many years and you continue to, and it's just like you have like this is a huge milestone for me and I'm so grateful. And then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know why. I'm just like, are people sure? Like I don't.
Yeah, I get it. But
so silly.
You were so good. And
thank you.
Obviously, you made an impact because with the fan theory, everyone's going on and on about we cannot wait to figure it out. We need to know. We need to know if you're working for Vecna.
It's so funny that you know, and playing Miss Kelly, I'm kind of a quirkier person, but she's, you know, I have to like in the moments I was like, okay, I'm going to lower that a little and then bring up my compassion for kids. I love working with kids. And it was so cool to have a role that embodied who I, you know, big elements of who I am. I feel because, you know, you can play all sorts of things. Like I've played a money laundering banker for Queen of the South. And, you know, like I've been a reporter on some things. I've been a welder on Lady and the Tramp, like all these different things. But this role specifically is so special on so many levels because it represents big elements about me that I am so lucky that the world gets to see. And it's on one of my favorite shows. And it's with opposite Sadie.
Right.
I ran into her, obviously I ran into her at the world premiere. And it's like, even it was just like day one when I met her, there's this familiarity already. It was so easy and comfortable and fun. Like, I can't believe
they all seem
it even happened. I know.
They all seem just so down to earth. Like the kids just seem like such good kids. I spoke with Gabriella Pizzolo, who's Susie. I talked to her on Monday. She was amazing. She was
love that.
I talked to Mason Dye last week, and it was so funny because it's like, oh my gosh, like you are the worst person ever, in the show, but he's such a nice guy. Like he
I
is so
know.
friendly and he is just the sweetest thing. So I'm like, that's a sign of a good actor. And you made,
I was gonna say that's good work.
yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
what do you have coming up for you in the future?
Well, you know, like every project nowadays, you have to sign a bunch of NDAs and can't talk about
Okay, no, that's fine. It's totally fine. I just
Sorry.
wanted to give you a chance to like, if you had anything to promote. Now I know you do. Now I did do a little digging when I got your email, and do you do pet portraits? Do you still
I
do?
do. I
Oh
do.
my gosh.
Yes. I kind of fell into that randomly. I decided, you know what, I want to paint. So I
You're
just
so
like,
talented.
oh my God, you're so sweet. It's a lot of practice.
Mm-hmm.
A glass of wine might be involved. Just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much. Yeah, I started with wild animals. I really like that. And then I had friends who were like, can you paint my pet? And then that kind of built off into its own. I feel like everything in my life just kind of organically builds in that way but that's why I think it's so important for anybody. Like if you have an interest in anything, you just got to try it and then like show it. Good or bad, I think show it. That's how you learn.
Totally agree. I would agree. Yes.
And you never know where it'll go.
No, not at all. Like, and it's just, it's not worth not trying it. Like, what is there to lose?
Absolutely. And you know what? It may not work out, but then you can cross that off, move on to the next. There's so many things, so many things. Yeah.
You sound like me talking to my kid where I'm like, it didn't work. Let's try something else.
Yeah. Let's not dwell there.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving on.
I don't want to get you in trouble because I know there's not a whole lot. Like, have you seen the final 2 episodes?
No, I have not.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think we're getting screeners. I don't think anybody's getting them because I don't think they're done with the VFX.
I think that's why honestly, I have no idea. I'm assuming just business wise, it needed more time.
Yeah.
But VFX got crazy for all kinds of projects. Like they just got backed up with a huge backlog of
I know
feature films. And
they did some after they had actually dropped the first few episodes. So they had they dropped volume 1, and I know there were a couple things that they pulled, like didn't pull it off the streamer, but they, fixed it and put it back. And I think one of the things was Millie Bobby Brown's face was, I think it was superimposed on Marty Blair's. And I think they did a little bit of tweaking to it.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's so cool that it's so crazy behind the scenes that
I bet
they could just pull it and fix it and put it back. Like it's so, we don't think about that. We just watch TV for TV.
Right. And I do wonder if, because I am, for as long as I can remember, I've been obsessed with movies and TV. Like it has always been my passion. And it is always been something that I am just absolutely obsessed with. And I always wonder, does it lose sort of any of the magic when you're behind the scenes and you're seeing how everything is done before you see the final project?
No, only because you start to understand the different parts of the process. So you have to almost I think it's actually magical that they put together, because when you film, it's like you change the camera angles, changing lighting. There's so many, hurry up and wait, like your wait times, the lighting, and then you shoot again and then you change again. And then at the end, it's like one whole thing. It's like those shifts and changes never happened. And I'm like, what? So, but then it encourages me to, every time I'm on camera or in the moment, just be present. Don't worry about the other things. And I think if I didn't think that way, it would lose the magic, because I'm like, we gotta wait, we gotta do a different setup. But it's important to for me to bounce back and just stay present in each moment and then see what they put together. Because even my scenes with Max, it's like, I can't believe it looks and feels the way that it was shot. Like,
I know. Yeah. Now, did you have any
eerie?
Did you have, I can't remember off the top of my head, did you have any scenes with Chrissy or Fred too? Okay. I couldn't remember if they were actually in your office. I know we saw Chrissy leave your office, but I didn't know if we ever saw.
No, but that's so good writing and good filming, because it seems like I did, right? Like, yeah. And the way Miss Kelly was, and just it she gives off this trustworthy, like you assume a counselor is trustworthy and that other people see her. And I feel like everyone just assumed it,
Yeah.
even though you didn't have the scenes, but I feel what you're feeling because you automatically somehow the way they wrote it and shot it, you feel like you saw them seeing Miss Kelly, even though they
like
did.
in my
You know
head.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really did. I thought that there was a scene of you sitting with Fred across from the desk, but I guess you didn't. So
no. But that's like so powerful that they can reach to the audience's minds with good writing and filming.
Oh yeah.
That they're creating all these things just from what they put out there. I don't know. It's just so fascinating to me. And then again, the fan theories, that's the same idea, right? They just put something out there and then it explodes. And
oh my gosh.
Oh my God, it exploded.
Yes, it did. And and it was so funny because your character, Miss Kelly, she's not threatening at all. There's nothing about her that seems sinister. Right. But I will say when I first started, literally I was texting with someone when I was watching it and I said, there's something up with the counselor. Like, and it was like literally the first episode. I was like, really up with the counselor. Yes. And it was just your interaction with Sadie, with Max, her, when she was getting off the bus, like, look, my arm hair is standing up. Like it seriously like sets up. And I was like, there's something up with her. It's too weird. And then we find out that she's the connecting thread between these victims. And I was like, oh boy. I was like,
you are so intuitive. Like,
I don't know. Like it was like something, and honestly, it could have easily been subconsciously because I had written about the Monopoly board beforehand. So I knew that Miss Kelly had a space. So I was like, there's something that's too off for it to not mean something. So obviously subconsciously that could have come. But yeah.
Okay. But still, and all the fans that noticed like the little things that, like the necklace and I'm like, these people must be like highly intelligent, hyper aware of detail because like some of the fan theories for any of them, I have to go back and rewatch scenes to see if I'm catching what they're catching. I'm like, how are they so keen to everything? I want to be like them.
And also though, I feel like when you're in it, like you are, it's almost like you're definitely not paying attention to that because you've already been in the situation. So maybe it frames your thoughts one way or another.
That's such a good point. You're right. Because I wouldn't even want to have the notion to go look for clues.
Right. So I do a Stranger Things podcast too, which also obviously helps. And so I take notes, the second, or third time I've watched the episode to record. So a lot of that too is me going back over and over before I'm picking up and being like, oh my gosh, something is up with this or whatever. But I will say, yes, Miss Kelly, the first time I saw you guys, I was like, something's up. There's something with the
well, I should say I'm honored. I hope it's the character and not just me as a person.
No. Not at all. No.
You're like, look, Regina, you don't seem real trustworthy. Like,
no, it was no, not at all. It was just something like set my senses off where I was like,
I love that.
There's something more to her.
I love that. That is talent, Whitney. That's talent.
Maybe I can like finagle this into like some sort of skill then. Like,
yeah, you could be like a PI or something. Like, I don't know.
Gosh, yes, maybe that'll be my next career move.
But this is probably more fun.
Yes, for sure. I don't want to know about real problems.
Oh yeah, nobody wants. We don't want to be reminded of that. We want to escape to, exactly. Demigorgons and demobats and stuff like that.
So, okay, this is what I've asked all the people, all my cast that I've interviewed. What is one word you could use to describe the last 2 episodes?
Impossible.
Ooh, that's a good one. So I've gotten impossible. Mason said insane. And just this, Gabriella said memory. So I was like, oh, they're all so different, but they all give you a lot to think about.
I love that. That's like That's a great question. And then you're like taking the words and like you're like a detective. You're figuring out what the oh my god, that cracks me up.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
It definitely, this season is definitely so much darker
Oh,
than
yes.
all the others.
Yeah.
When I saw the first episode in full, I was like, because I saw it at the premiere,
Mhm.
I was like, I can't do horror. Like, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that was going to be my next question. Like, are you a horror fan in general? Like, do you
I
like
mean,
horror movies?
I'll watch them from time to time, but I'm a little chicken. Like, I sleep with night lights on. I sleep with the sun in my face. Like,
Oh
I
my gosh.
grew
Yeah.
up so superstitious, and I just
Same. Yeah.
And after that first episode, like, I was flinching all
My
the time.
jaw
I'm just
dropped.
like, I believe it.
My jaw dropped and I like audibly gasped. And I had to call my brother and was like,
God, you did.
I was like, we can't let, like, my nephew, he's 9. I was like, or he's 10 now. I was like, he can't watch it. You're gonna have to break it to him. He can't watch this season.
I've seen a lot of, comments about moms and families being like, I don't know if my kids can watch this. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. And it's not necessarily, I don't know how to put it, because it's not really the gore. It is, but it isn't. Yeah. I mean, it's the mind flare in season 3. There were some, I mean, when those people turned to like jiggling piles of pink goo, I mean, that was gross.
Yeah.
Story. But there's just, this season mimics or just has so much Nightmare on Elm Street feel to it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Like you just can feel
eerie. Yeah. Goosebumps.
Yep. And the music cues and
yeah. It's a masterpiece of horror. It's science fiction and horror built together. It's so cool they beautifully piece that together. It's hard to do.
Yes,
I mean, horror can be funny to a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you either don't do it right or that's their way of protecting, reality.
Right. Yeah. I felt like this season kind of harkened back to season 1's feelings. Season 1 was really scary. And
it was.
Did you watch it when it first premiered? Do you remember it coming out? I did too. Yeah. And Netflix didn't do a ton of marketing for it. I remember. And I had just seen an article about it and was like, oh, I love horror. It's like literally my favorite genre of movies. And
oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, I love it. I can't wait to watch it. And I turned it on, my husband and I did. And it was honestly the first show I've ever binge watched, because I feel like it invented binge watching almost.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cause you're right. There wasn't a lot of marketing. No one knew what it was. You kind of had an idea. I don't think they knew it would blow up the way it did.
Oh no. I'm pretty sure the Duffers said that they had thought they were going to end it at 1 season. It was just kind of going to be almost a mini series.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen their pitch Bible that they had for the first? It's so interesting.
I'll have to watch that.
The stuff that they've changed. You can find it online. It's just a document. It's a PDF. You can find it.
Okay.
Like season 1 and how they changed everything. Like not everything, but they changed like originally it was set in Montauk. It was based on a place called Camp Hero. It was like in, like Joyce had a thick, like Long Island accent. Yeah. It was
what?
Yeah. It was wild.
I can't even imagine that.
No.
I can't imagine it done any way other than how it's done.
Right. Yeah, it's very like Midwestern, like heart of America type, kids.
Yeah.
And so it was originally like, I think it was much scarier than the first season was. But
but it was so good. Like I also got hooked on right away, even though I was a little scared, but the story was so captivating that
they balanced it so well with the
whole that's a great word. Yep.
Yeah. Together.
So good.
Yes. I'm dying to see the end, but I'm also really sad to let it go. Like I know that every good show has, you always want to go out at the top. But I am going to be heartbroken to say goodbye to all these characters because I love them all so much.
Oh, yeah. You are not alone, apparently. It's such a wide, it's a world you know, worldwide fan loving show. Like that's what's crazy about it. It's not just local to the US. And you know,
it's
and
cool.
the fans have been so kind and nice that have reached out to me from all over the world. It's like, you guys are what? Like you watch shows on that English shows on Netflix? Like it's so
that's so sweet of you though. Like it's refreshing to see someone that is, you know, just so genuinely like happy to be a part of it. So
again, I'm like, me? There's no one else here. I guess it is me, but I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Like, that's how I feel.